that make me whole. Sweet is your voice to me. Lord, sweet is your voice to me. Sweet is your voice to me. Speaking the words to my soul. They're the ones that make me whole. Sweet is your voice to me. Have you seen the one who my soul loves? Have you seen the one who my soul loves? Speaking the words to my soul. They're the ones that make me whole. Sweet is your voice to me. Oh, have you seen the one who my soul loves? Have you seen the one who my soul loves? Speaking the words to my soul. They're the ones that make me whole. Sweet is your voice to me. I love you, Lord. I hear your voice early in the morning. So come on and speak the word, encouraging me, telling me to run on. Speak, Lord. I want to hear your voice, perfecting me, directing me, telling me which way to go. Come on and speak, anointing me, yes, speaking the words to my soul, the ones that make me whole. Sweet is your voice to me, oh Lord. Sweet is your voice to me, yes. Sweet is your voice to me. I'll speak, Lord. I'm listening.
To our audience and our viewers, tell us about Felicia. Where are you at? What city are you in?
Okay, so my name is Felicia Hampshire and Carmedia, my first name. And I live in the beautiful city of Green Cove Springs, Florida. And most
Wow.
people have never heard of Green Cove Springs, but it is such a beautiful little city. And I know from your roots, you know a little bit about Green Cove
I
Springs.
know a lot
So,
about Green Cove, Penny Farms, all that area.
yeah, so we sat on the banks of the St. John River.
Yes, you do.
And I actually was born and raised here all my life. So,
Wow.
yes, that's a little bit about me. You know, I'm married to Clarence for 41 years.
Oh,
We have
okay. Now, wait,
5.
hold up. What were you? Were you legally old enough to get married when you got? You look so young. My God, 41 years married. What were you? 18? You in the old days when they just took a wife or what?
Well, I actually got married at 20.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So yeah, it was wonderful. We're high school sweethearts. We met in when we were 15.
Wow. Wow. So listen, like you said, there are people that are watching and people watch us all over the country and around the world. So tell us about Green Cove. How is it as far as let's see, racially balanced, or how is it divided? Would you say there's a lot of African Americans? How is the city? Give us the makeup of the city.
Well, I can tell you from the statistics that I had probably back in 2016, which is the
Hmm.
last time I actually really looked at it. There was a makeup of almost 14% African Americans.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I would like to think that we're not, see, we have the core city and we also have people who live on the outside of the city, which is also considered Green Cove Springs. So there, you know, the numbers, the percentages may be even less when you add all of them together.
Mhm.
But in the core city, there's a good makeup of African Americans here.
Wow. So let me ask you now, because of that, and so you've been involved, so you've been there your whole life. So what kind of work did you do?
Okay, so it just really depends. I've volunteered a whole lot with different organizations,
Hmm.
so which was kind of considered work. Did I lose you?
No, I'm there. No,
Oh, okay, I didn't see you.
no, you
Okay,
know what it
so
was? The camera was focused on you. What we do when you're talking, the camera will just go straight on you.
got you. No worries. I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose you.
Right.
So I've been involved in different organizations like the Florida Education Association, where I served on the executive cabinet. I'm a big union person. I was president of my union for many years, but I also served at the national level with the National Education Association, the American Federation of Teachers, and I served in board member capacity on both of those national at the national level. Um, in I also served as mayor of the city of Green Cove Springs. I served on the
Wow.
city council for 9 years until I termed out. And after a year, you can go back and run again. And many people have been trying to get me to do that, but I think I'm good. Um, I worked for the Clay County School District for 36 years. My
Wow.
husband and I are both retired now,
I think I
happily
saw that
retired.
in June, right?
Yes.
And would you say
Well, he
happily retired?
retired this year in June, and I retired last year. So I've been out a whole year. I needed that to myself, you know. So, but nevertheless, I worked for the Clay County School District, which is how I got involved in the National Education Association as a board member and with the American Federation of Teachers. So I worked in recruitment. We recruited bus drivers and just, all kinds of folk who we needed in the transportation division. But I
Let me ask,
also
go
worked for
ahead.
government relations and human resources for several years.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to education, and we're going to take a break in a minute and come back. When it comes to education, how have you seen it from being in Green Cove and just basically where you are? How have you seen the situation with education? How our young people are handling things, young people then and young people now. I
That's
listen,
a
listen. I'm going to take a break and then we're going to come back to that because I know you got a lot to say. Hey, this is
Oh
Coffee
yeah.
with Dr. B. I'm Dr. Brenda Miller Chambliss, and I will be back with our special guest, Felicia Hampshire. Y'all hold on. Y'all gonna need to hear this. I'll be right back after this.
It's the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida. That's right, a family affair in Green Cove Springs, Florida, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park. Come on out, bring your family. Family Talent Show. Come on out and get busy to the Get Busy Dance Off, hosted by Thriller Player from the 69 Boys. Also get ready for the iconic sounds of R&B artist Tony Terry. That's right, Tony Terry at the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida, a family affair, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park from 12 to 7 p.m. I want you to come out, food, family fun, and visit exploreclay.com.
Welcome to BBTV Today with your host, Dr. Brenda Miller Chambliss. Since 1998, BBTV Today has been the promotional broadcast of the Bodybuilders Television Network, the vision of Dr. Will and Brenda Chambliss, founders. The vision is now reality, and you can watch Bodybuilders Television Network along with our other primary channels, Embassy TV and WHIM TV, where he is magnified from our website, your smart or Android phone, Roku, or your favorite streaming device. Now streaming 24/7 in HD. BBTV Today continues to share powerful testimonies, interviews, cover events, conferences, revivals, convocations, and more, music ministry, and most important, an inspirational word from the Lord. You will continue to be blessed by the powerful ministry of BBTV Today as we share the vision of Bodybuilders Television Network. So, call a friend, get a pen, and get ready to be blessed by the awesome ministry of BBTV Today with your host, co-founder of the Bodybuilders Television Network, Dr. Brenda Miller Chambliss.
It's the Soul Food Festival in Green Coast Springs, Florida. That's right, a family affair in Green Coast Springs, Florida, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park. Come on out, bring your family. Family Talent Show. Come on out and get busy to the Get Busy Dance Off, hosted by Thriller Player from the 69 Boys. Also get ready for the iconic sounds of R&B artist Tony Terry. That's right, Tony Terry at the Soul Food Festival in Green Coast Springs, Florida, a family affair, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park from 12 to 7 p.m. I want you to come out, food, family fun, and visit exploreclay.com.
And we're back. It's Coffee with Dr. B and Sister Felicia. What you got there? I thought I saw something in you. All right. I love it. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, Dr.
It
Chambers,
is.
we're teaching a series, and he's teaching a series 10 reasons why you should go to church. And the one that he taught on was that Wednesday night. Wednesday night was train up a child. And he was saying
Oh,
that we need to go back. We need to get kids and people got to go back to church, go back to Sunday school with all the things, because there is, and I think the scripture was over in Judges that said that there is a generation that knew not the Lord. Okay. And I'm going to let you go with that. When you look at how we grew up, and how did you see the changes in education, and how do you deal with it? I would, number one,
okay.
my daughter was in the classroom and she was like, before I be doing time, because these children are so disrespectful and everything. But go ahead.
So that's a loaded question. And I have to tell you that I have two daughters that are educators. One teaches currently, her name is Kelly, and she teaches at a junior high school in our county. And the other one taught social studies for 7 years, and she still keeps her license. However, she's a stay-at-home mom at this time, but both of my daughters did teach school, two of them at least. So as it relates to the times and the differences, I can tell you that growing up as a child, things are definitely much different in a sense. I had a gentleman, one of my neighbors, he's about 80 years old now. His name is Mr. Isaac Brown. And Mr. Brown said, when we changed over, for desegregation, he said, we got what we want, but we lost what we had.
Say that again. I love it. Say that again.
Mr. Brown said, we got what we wanted, but we lost what we had.
Love it.
And it took me every bit of 10 seconds to understand exactly what he meant. And I can tell you that the experiences that I had while in an all Black school, if I can just use those terms, as opposed to being integrated, I believed at the time, now this is my thinking as a child, because my mother made me leave the all Black school when they integrated and go to the all so-called quote unquote white school, because that's how we talked back then. We know it's different now. However, when I went, I was lost, confused, didn't have any friends. Couldn't understand why my mom would make me do it. I was the first African-American child to attend Charles E. Bennett Elementary School in the 2nd grade. So I was fresh out of 1st grade, going right into 2nd grade. But at the end of the day, I can tell you, I did experience a lot of prejudices, and I didn't know how to handle that as a child. But God's grace brought me through it somehow. But when I look at the children then and now, you hit it on the head. You hit the nail on the head when you said the children, a lot of them are so disrespectful. But you have to keep in mind that we have children raising children.
Come on, exactly. Yes.
So when you have children raising children, they don't come with a handbook. So if they're not raising them in the church, this is just my thought. This
This
is
is true.
nobody else's thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to raise a child in this world today. And so the parents, some of them, I don't want to say that, but that it's just really hard. And then there are a lot of policies that are in place, I think, hurt our kids. And then there are a lot of policies that help our kids. This is my reasoning from being involved in the National Education Association and American Federation of Teachers, because we fight hard on behalf of educators and children. Our children are our possession, our prized possessions. And if we don't step up as parents and take hold as stakeholders, our kids are
I
going
like
to
that,
begin.
stakeholders. Mm-hmm.
Our kids are going to continue to be that lost generation. It's so unfortunate, but I know my husband and I are both saved, and
Praise
we
God.
brought our children up in the church.
Amen.
And I'm here to tell you, we're grateful and blessed because all of them are doing extremely well.
Amen. Amen.
But the education definitely has changed. Mr. Brown was so on point. When from the little bit I can remember as a child, and I bet you can too, when we went to our schools, predominantly Black schools, we had teachers there who made sure we had breakfast, even though now the children are being offered breakfast and lunch, reduced meals or whatever. But back then there was a different type of caring, from the administrators on down. Some of the things I see now are troubling, but thankfully we do have a lot of really good educators out there, and they really do care about the kids. I think a lot of this actually starts from the home.
Exactly. It does. It starts
And
from
we
the home.
can't really place the blame on the educators so much. But it starts from the home. And if people don't know how to raise the kids to go to school and respect teachers and support staff and in the administration, you're going to continue to have a lost group of children, unfortunately.
Well, see, we have
And
a lot
I don't
of
have the answers.
We have a lot of different areas, and it's funny, as you were talking, I was thinking, because here in Palatka, I went to James A. Long Elementary School. Integration didn't hit. I didn't. I didn't know. I was in fifth grade when they bust us. I was in the, so all I knew was Miss KB Green, Miss Muldrow, Miss
There you go.
Dorothea Hardy. I knew Miss Green had a belt, and it wasn't no calling. Listen, it wasn't no calling your mom and daddy. God, please, just beat me, hang me, but don't call my mom and daddy, please.
Don't
Lord have
call
mercy.
mom and daddy,
Don't
because
call
that was
mom
the
and daddy.
second
That was it.
whipping.
Oh no, that was no. So they took care of you at school. They took care of you at school. It
Yes.
wasn't no call. So I went to an all James A. Long Elementary right down the road here.
I know
I
exactly
didn't
where that is.
see. I didn't know. I didn't know integration. We went to, when they bust us from here, it was called Beasley Middle School. And that was like, oh my God, that was so different. That was culture shock, because,
Yes.
we went to Bethlehem Baptist Church right up here. And,
Oh,
we
yeah.
stayed out here in what they call the old country, and you got to see people at Fifth Sunday Union,
Yes.
we grew up. Church was our main environment. And I
Yes.
think, like Mr. Brown was saying, our pastor was teaching on this. If it was a community problem, they dealt with it at the church. If it was
Yeah.
a problem in the home, they dealt with it at the church. If it was something wrong in anything, they dealt with it. And so that was our center. So when it came to raising and rearing our children, we all had the same level, there was an equality. Now, and from what you're saying, we have parents that have different levels of understanding, different levels of what their values are different. Like Superintendent was saying, Dr. Chalmers was saying in his Bible study, he said, you can tell. He said he knew when his children had been around somebody they shouldn't, because when they come home, they would say something they wouldn't usually say, sing a
Right.
song. You're like, where you heard that from? Where you got that from? And so those things were different. But what I appreciate is your involvement in your community. And even though that you're out, how can we reach and how can we connect and keep our communities together? Listen, we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that and some of the things that you're doing in the community, especially you got a major event coming up. Hey, this is Coffee with
Absolutely.
Dr. B, and I'm going to be back after this.
It's the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida. That's right, a family affair in Green Cove Springs, Florida, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park. Come on out, bring your family. Family Talent Show. Come on out and get busy to the Get Busy Dance Off, hosted by Thriller Player from the 69 Boys. Also get ready for the iconic sounds of R&B artist Tony Terry. That's right, Tony Terry at the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida, a family affair, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park from 12 to 7 p.m. I want you to come out, food, family fun, and visit exploreclay.com.
Step by step, I'm walking this road. Never thought I'd make it this far. When I think about the mercy you've shown me, I must confess you can use anything. Indeed, I'm walking step by step. If it had not been you by my side, when the enemy came in for my life, now I know he would have destroyed me, leaving me to die in my sin and shame. You never left my side. Now I know you walk before me. All my days I'm in your care. You've taken my hand and you will always lead me, Lord, to greener pastures wherever I go. Step by step, I'm walking this road. Never thought I'd make it this far. And when I think about the mercy you've shown me, I must confess you can use anything. Indeed, I'm walking step by step.
It's the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida. That's right, a family affair in Green Cove Springs, Florida, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park. Come on out, bring your family. Family Talent Show. Come on out and get busy to the Get Busy Dance Off, hosted by Thriller Player from the 69 Boys. Also get ready for the iconic sounds of R&B artist Tony Terry. That's right, Tony Terry at the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida, a family affair, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park from 12 to 7 p.m. I want you to come out, food, family fun, and visit exploreclay.com.
I tell you what, this is when I think about this education thing, I'm really worried. I think about John Lewis, and he says, "Go make some good trouble." And I'm about to do those things because I'm concerned about hiring practices that have been ongoing for many years. And I have nothing but time on my hand if the Lord spare me. So I'm gonna make some good trouble in a couple of days.
Well, hold on. Listen, I'm going to bring us back, and then I know you probably don't want to say that on the air, but so we're going to you count me down and bring me back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are back. First, I want to ask you, will you come and be my guest again? This is what it started about. But I mean, I'm really enjoying you. We do television, as you can probably sense and tell. And my husband, who's also my pastor and producer, he said, "Well, listen, I haven't seen the person. I haven't gotten the bio info, and I don't know how the show is going to do. It may not go that long." I said, "Honey, trust me, she's good." I talked to her. I said, because we've had people, it was like, I mean, famous people. It was like,
That's awesome.
it's like pulling teeth. They know how to act, they know how to
Yes.
sing, but when you sit them down and they got to think and talk on their own, they ain't got nothing. I'm like, oh Lord. And I'm like, so what do you think about? So I'm like, hurry up and get me off of this set. But so you've seen and you've been actively involved, and I'm glad. That's why I say coming back, that things are changing. We need help. See, you're at got me at a disadvantage. I was born and raised here, but I was gone for several years up in the Great Smoky Mountains. And by being back, one of the things that I'm trying to find after being back is to find out, where are we at? There's no
Yeah.
point of connection. I'm like, how do you identify where is a group? If there was a problem, where do you go? Who do you
And
find?
that's a
Who do you
great
talk to?
question.
And there's no connection. So I'm like, we've been back for not first a year, for about 4 or 5 months, and full time from the mountains. And this is, and let me say this, for those of you that don't travel or go anywhere, sometimes you don't appreciate what you have. The Great Smoky Mountains is of North Carolina. Atlanta is not like Charlotte and Raleigh. There's less than 1% African American. We'd have to go to Atlanta to see black folk. No Negroes up there. No, very few. Very, very few. And the ones that were Appalachians. And a lot of people don't understand what Appalachians are. The African Americans from Appalachia are not like black people like us, because their settlement, they're part Cherokee, is it Dutch? Part Cherokee, part Dutch, and then African. So they're different. And so they have their settlements. We did not know that. So they're
Mm.
so different. You know them because they don't really, good people, but they're just different. Let me just say it like that,
They
different.
don't interact on
No,
the same level.
they're different. Appalachians are different. And so I've come to appreciate. But when I came back to Palatka in Florida, I hate to say that I feel a little bit of the same. I'm like, where I see you in Walmart, but I don't know you. Where are my people? Now, even in growing up here, even if you didn't go to the same church, I'm in a Pentecostal church, not Church of God in Christ. But when I grew
Mhm.
up, there was Mount Tabor, and there was
Oh
Calvary,
yeah.
and there was
Oh yeah.
Shiloh, and we had the Primitive Baptist Church. That was so. But if we didn't come together, at least we had Fifth Sunday unions. Fifth Sunday, everybody got together. Fifth Sunday union,
Everybody got together.
everybody got together. We would have some Fifth Sundays, and Green Cove would come in.
That's right. I
But
remember those.
but there's nothing to bring us. I'm like, where are my people? What gathers us? And I think
You
that
know, and
also.
that
Go ahead.
I'm glad you asked that question because there isn't there's nothing. And it's unfortunate because up until about 3-4 years ago, I remember churches around here, Middleburg, Pierce Station, and all of them still having Fifth Sundays, but nobody does it anymore. So you know, we decided 20 years ago we needed to do something, even if it was once a year, to bring everybody together. And this is the reason why, one of the reasons why we have this festival,
So
because
talk
we,
about that. This is what we want to come to. Talk about the event that you're having, and I love the way you brought it in because this is the reason why, and we're so glad to be a part. And I just see God doing some things here because your heart is like ours is because it has to be a reason, a purpose. Y'all right over there. We've got to have that because if we don't, God forbid, who's going to take over? Who's going to help our children and our grandchildren? There's nothing there. So talk about the Soul Food Festival.
yes, absolutely. And thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I didn't get to say that in the beginning, but I'm very grateful. So the Soul Food Festival began 20 years ago, obviously.
Wow.
And we began this festival because we wanted to do something in our community. We were in a bad place about 20 years ago in Green Cove Springs, where unlike other, I mean, just like other cities may have experienced, we had crime and these kids thought they were boys in the hood and all of this stuff. And we had to go around and rename a few streets in order to take away the stint that the name brought with it, you know, that current name had with it. And so we decided to do something different. A gentleman by the name of John Sanders was the one that came up with the idea of having a soul food festival. And we started it with a parade, and we still do our parades. But we wanted to bring some unity in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so by doing so, this would opportune, mom and pop businesses, or just, even in your own house. If you say, oh, I can bake a mad sweet potato pie. Well, this will give you an opportunity to bring that pie to this festival
Oh,
to be
yes.
judged, and we still do
Wow.
that. But we needed to bring our community together, and not, and although the focus was bringing the community together, we knew that it would be a melting pot of people. We knew when you talk about food, you talk about people coming to eat, and they love to eat good Southern cooking. And
Mm-hmm.
from our background, we can throw down.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was one of our ways of bringing people together, to allow them to display their cuisines, their Southern cuisines, and even sell them so that they can make money. Some people came out there just to make money so that they have for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We grew from having perhaps 20, maybe 10 to 20 vendors to 55 vendors.
Wow.
So, and we could have more if we would allow it. We just don't have the space. But bringing this festival together brings the community together. And, I love that it brings our children out, parents out, grandparents out, everybody come out of the woodworks so that they can see people and talk to people they haven't seen and talked to for years.
What is your
And
attendance like?
so we have a parade that begins at noon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called the Parade of Pride.
Mm-hmm.
And if you will allow me, the Parade of Pride was based on Dunbar High School. And I don't know if you ever heard of Dunbar High School, but it was the only Black high school in Clay County, and that's where all the Blacks came to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother, my dad, they were all in the band. So we wanted to bring that element back to the community to help people remember how wonderful it was before integration. We wanted to bring
Wow.
that memory back to the people. So we have a parade every year. And we start with the parade, and then once we get into the park this year, it's going to be somewhat different. We're going to have a memorial that honors or recognizes all of our loved ones who were lost to COVID, breast cancer, any type of cancer, lupus, heart disease, because through the years, we've been having fundraisers for those actual illnesses. And so we're going to have a memorial where we will have a balloon release, and we will allow people to come up and acknowledge their loved ones that they've lost in the prior years and even this year. And I think it kind of brings people together to let them know that they have a part in all of this. They are stakeholders in this event. It's not just me or my husband or the committee members. It's for everybody, because we want them to know that we remember your loved ones. We want you to know that we appreciated the support that they've given us throughout the years. And
Tanisha,
so,
I did not know that. I'm glad to hear that, but that will tie into why we're there. We're there to promote our ministry, Step by Step, Women's Grief Ministry, for victims of homicide and suicide, they're survivors. So,
absolutely.
there's those that have those types of death that have died, but when a person is murdered or committed suicide, that takes on a whole different complexion. So we're there. And so when we air this, and this will be aired on next Monday, and we'll probably do some re-airing of it before that, to get people to come out, especially from that area, that are there to come out and to be a part. But if they have someone that was murdered or committed suicide, make sure you come, but definitely come over to our booth as well. We'd like to meet you and talk to you and share those things with you.
Step by step, I'm walking this road. Never thought I'd make it this far. When I think about the mercy you've shown me, I must confess you can use anything. Indeed, I'm walking step by step. If it had not been you by my side, when the enemy came in for my life, now I know he would have destroyed me, leaving me to die in my sin and shame. You never left my side. Now I know you walk before me. All my days I'm in your care. You've taken my hand and you will always lead me, Lord, to greener pastures wherever I go. Step by step, I'm walking this road. Never thought I'd make it this far. And when I think about the mercy you've shown me, I must confess you can use anything. Indeed, I'm walking step by step.
It's the Soul Food Festival in Green Coast Springs, Florida. That's right, a family affair in Green Coast Springs, Florida, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park. Come on out, bring your family. Family Talent Show. Come on out and get busy to the Get Busy Dance Off, hosted by Thriller Player from the 69 Boys. Also get ready for the iconic sounds of R&B artist Tony Terry. That's right, Tony Terry at the Soul Food Festival in Green Coast Springs, Florida, a family affair, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park from 12 to 7 p.m. I want you to come out, food, family fun, and visit exploreclay.com.
I got latex allergies, so I'm not gonna be able to be where the balloons are. I'm gonna be a long way away from the balloons. If they let now, sister, listen, y'all will have a whole different situation if I go near
Oh
the
Lord.
balloons. But
Yeah, we want to make sure you're safe.
yeah, no, I have severe latex allergies. I have my EpiPen, but I'll be over there. But
Oh
definitely,
Lord.
oh yeah, no, serious. No, I got the bad ones.
But
But
let me also add that
mhm.
we're also we have a couple of Black doctors that will be there. Dr. Tanner Robinson and Dr. Lori Sarver. And they will be there with their teams administering the vaccinations for anyone
So
who would like to have them for COVID.
for COVID,
We are
awesome.
also trying to make sure that Walgreens is there because they can give flu shots and shots for shingles for
Hmm.
those who qualify for them. Um,
So
so
this is a
we,
real community event. This is a powerful
yes,
event for the community to come out. I mean, uh, wow, they can get their shots,
yes.
flu shots, shingle shots. They can get the vaccine. And please, we're encouraged. We can't make y'all do nothing, but I don't want y'all to die. I lost two brothers in 8 days, 8 days to COVID. Two brothers, 8 days apart. Then I lost a brother-in-law. Then I lost a sister-in-law. So within just a few months, our family went through it because of COVID. And we don't want to see anyone else have to go through that. And with this Delta variant, you better pray as you take the vaccine because this thing is kind of getting where I don't even know sometimes if the vaccine is working on the Delta variant.
I tell you, I pray that it is. I have one of my daughters, her name is Hope, and Hope told me over a year ago, she said, Mom, I want you to pay close attention to something. She said, in the next year or so, and these were the words that came out of her mouth. She said, in the next year or so, she said, you are going to witness people dying all around you that you know that you are close to. And I was like, no way. She was like, just watch. And I promise you, she was right on because her husband is the CEO president of a hospital down south.
Wow.
So they warned us that this was going to happen. So my daughter, she just stayed on us about making sure you wear your mask, make sure you get vaccinated. And I understand there are a lot of people who don't want to, and I'm not messing with that. I'm not going to debate that. That is a decision people have to make on their
On
own.
their own.
I'm not suggesting that's what they need to do because I don't want to be in the middle of, a confrontation or anything like that with people. So I can just tell you, as for me and my house, we are all vaccinated.
Here too.
So
Both of them. Yeah, we done. That was done in April. Yes. And I
yes,
and I want to honestly say I hesitated. I thought, I saw Miss Evans' boys several times and all that. I was afraid. And then about the last time I was in my doctor's office, he was like, Brenda, let me say this. I'm like, here we go again. He said, you've got this, and this. He said, I'm gonna let you know right now. If you got COVID, you'd have less than a 10% chance of living. I'm like, say what now? I'm like, you got a
yes.
needle? Can you give it to me right now?
The
You ain't got to say
underlying conditions.
Oh, I'm like, no, I could not afford it. So for me,
Yeah.
it made it easy. But those things that you're having is done. And what we're going to do, I'm going to make sure that, any flyers or info that we can insert them in, or clips and things like that, that we add to the interview right before we go. And definitely, by gosh, I'm going to have you back on again because I really want to see what things that you've got going on in Green Cove Springs in that area and
Certainly.
see how we can partner to maybe duplicate that over here in Putnam County because like you, I'm all in. I'm back here and I'm I'm
I
I'm all in.
That is awesome to hear. And please allow me to say this before I get off the air. We have lots of volunteers, and I want our volunteers to know that we truly appreciate them. The City of Green Cove Springs, Five Star Credit Union, Bright Minds Youth Development, and many others for all of their support. But we have a gospel hour.
Oh, okay.
So if you got a choir that wants to come and sing, we dedicate that time to people who want to come and sing gospel before they get into the other activities. And
Right.
our main attraction this year is a young man named Tony Terry. I don't know if people remember him, but he is he's one of the famous R&B singers,
Hold up,
along with the
hold. Light skinned Tony Terry.
Yeah.
I interviewed him in, where were we at? Nashville. Oh, I've interviewed him a couple of times. Oh, that's gonna be nice.
Yes,
That's
he's
it.
going to be there.
Let me stop smiling so much, but
He's going to be there along with the 69 Boys. We're having a family dance-off contest, sweet potato pie contest, barbecue rib contest.
wow.
So there's a lot going on, and we just want people to come out, bring their blankets, their chairs, their umbrellas, no tents, but they can bring their umbrellas and be respectful of the views of others. And come on out. It's free to get in. There's no cost. And they're just going to enjoy the day. So thank you for allowing me this opportunity.
Definitely looking forward to it. And definitely we're going to have our cameras and stuff there. We're going to be doing interviews and getting some clips and footage. And we are looking forward to it. Our special guest on today is Miss Carmenia Felicia Hampshire. She is a educator. She is a community and civic leader. She's a wife, a mother, grandmother, a believer, a lover of the Lord.
Amen.
And I needed to feel what you're doing. We're not by ourselves, and sometimes we don't know. And maybe it's our age range and group that, we got to go and make some difference, because I'm like, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here, and
Yeah.
the ones that we got the Mr. Browns and stuff were here. That was my daddy. My daddy received the Hero Award because he was here when Dr. King came through. Him and Miss Mary Jane Lawson Brown, the Mary Jane Lawson, and all those things. So
I know Miss
I
Lawson.
came. Yeah, I came from that. We came from that. And we came through the struggles, the good and the bad, but
Yeah.
we're here. So we're going to definitely do this, and I'm looking forward to having you come back again. Our special guest on the day, and we're going to be looking forward to the annual Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida. Hey, that's it for my edition of Coffee with Dr. B. I'll see you on next week.
It's the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida. That's right, a family affair in Green Cove Springs, Florida, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park. Come on out, bring your family. Family Talent Show. Come on out and get busy to the Get Busy Dance Off, hosted by Thriller Player from the 69 Boys. Also get ready for the iconic sounds of R&B artist Tony Terry. That's right, Tony Terry at the Soul Food Festival in Green Cove Springs, Florida, a family affair, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd at the Vera Francis Hall Park from 12 to 7 p.m. I want you to come out, food, family fun, and visit exploreclay.com.
There'll be some days when the battle is to praise, to give God praise. Listen. There'll be some days when the battle is to praise. There'll be some days when the battle is just to give God praise. But whatever it is that's trying to steal God's praise, tell it. Get out the way, I'm gonna give God praise. Get out the way, I'm gonna give God praise. There'll be some day when the battle is to praise. I tell you, there'll be some days when the battle is just to give God praise. Oh, whatever it is that's trying to steal God's praise, tell it. Get out the way, I'm gonna give God praise. Get out the way, I'm gonna give God praise. Praise is a weapon and praise is a key. It invokes God's presence that destroys the enemy. Some days you'll have to lift both hands. Oh, step out in the floor and make up for holy dance. Well, get over yourself. Try to look it in the eyes and say, you tell it. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Praise, praise. Oh, give God praise. Then the praise. Oh, praise and praise. You tell it. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. You praise. Come on and lift your hands. Press into the praise. Praise and press. You got to praise God and press. Then tell it. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Now I feel so much better now. I feel so much better now. And you feel so much better if you tell it. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Yeah, walk around. Lift both hands and give Him praise. Give God the glory, yeah, and give Him all the praise. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Get out the way, I'm going to give God praise. Give Him praise.
Step by step, I'm walking this road. Never thought I'd make it this far. When I think about the mercy you've shown me, I must confess you can use anything. Indeed, I'm walking step by step. If it had not been you by my side, when the enemy came in for my life, now I know he would have destroyed me, leaving me to die in my sin and shame. You never left my side. Now I know you walk before me. All my days I'm in your care. You've taken my hand and you will always lead me, Lord, to greener pastures wherever I go. Step by step, I'm walking this road. Never thought I'd make it this far. And when I think about the mercy you've shown me, I must confess you can use anything. Indeed, I'm walking instead.